My guys with Texas Music Reviews are going to be so jealous that I get to do this interview with you. I can't wait. This won't make it on there, but suck it, guys. I got to interview him. You didn't. We were talking about you in one of our episodes. So, all right, let's do this thing. Ready?
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, live and mobile out here in Colorado, the beautiful Steamboat Springs Steamboat Music Festival. But we are here at the Rebecca Creek Stage Artist Showcase, surrounded by the beautiful mountain views. Thank you to Rebecca Creek. Thank you so much to Chuck Brazinio for bringing us out. It's Texas Music Reviews time, man. I am joined by the legendary CMA Texas Songwriter of the Year, Thom Shepherd. How's it going, brother?
It's going good, man. Thanks for having me on here.
Dude, I'm so happy. I know you're a busy fella. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I have so many questions from the guys and girls at home in Texas. You've become a bit of a, a local household name, or a Texas household name, from, I hope I got these numbers right. I usually am pretty good with my numbers on people, but I want to say you've got, 10 radio singles, 5 number ones, 2 Grammy nominations, over 100 artists recording your songs.
Yeah.
You've done stuff like writing with Private Malone, and my personal favorite, Redneck Yacht Club. Was that about... There is a rumor going around that Redneck Yacht Club was written about Party Cove and Lake Conroe. Can you debunk that for us?
Yeah. It was written about two places, really. One is in Missouri, the Lake of the Ozarks.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the show Ozark,
yeah.
That lake. And then the Party Cove in Nashville. But I've heard from multiple people in multiple states, hey, man, that's about the one in Kentucky Lake, right? And I'm like, and I think I just need to tell everybody, yeah, it is. It is. It's
yes,
about
guys.
every Party Cove.
You heard it here. It's for every Party Cove, because they, on New Year's and on 4th of July, when they tie all their boats together, your song is the anthem of the
thank you,
man. So congratulations. Thank you for being here. You've got a lot of cool stuff coming up, man.
Thank you for doing your homework, man. You got a great memory.
Yeah. Oh, it's weird, but that's why I do Texas Music Reviews, man. I love my Texas artists. So many questions, and this one is a little bit of a shameless question for myself, but I know we have a lot of songwriters that follow us. And a topic that keeps coming up is about writing things into existence. As a songwriter who's been doing it for a while, have you ever experienced writing a song or writing something and it not necessarily being something that's happened to you, but after that song comes out, it winds up coming full circle, writing it into existence?
Oh, all the time. All the time, yeah. And I mean, if you want to go out with people on their boat, write a song called Redneck Yacht Club.
Yeah, I bet people invite you out on their boat all the time.
You know what I mean? Or like the last several years, we've done a lot of gigs in the trop rock world. The Parrot Heads, the Jimmy Buffett fans.
You were doing that. You got your Margaritaville radio out there or something like that, right?
We did. There's a thing called Radio Trop Rock that some friends of ours do that, Eric and Gina Babin, and they're great. And but yeah, it's like one thing feeds the other. Yeah. I had a couple of songs that were sort of that way, but when I started doing gigs in that genre, I started writing a lot more of it. Yeah. So, but it's true. Some songs are like, I like to say some songs want to be written or need to, or they're out there knocking on the door like you said, I need to be written into existence. Yeah. It's like a baby wanting to be born. You know?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, man. I find myself contemplating that all the time. I'm very conscious now of my songwriting to make sure that I'm not writing about some things that I don't want to come into existence.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, you got to be conscious, man, because you're like, do I want this energy in my life?
100%. There's a lot of magic to it. It's just truth. I'm telling you, like, I've learned over the years as a writer, when I feel something pulling me this way or whatever, and I don't know why, I go that way because something's cool. I'm supposed to do something cool over here.
Yeah.
I could give you an example of that. I was home visiting my dad in Virginia several years ago. I said, I don't know why, but I feel like we need to go visit my old boss, guy I used to work for. Haven't seen him in a long time.
Just that tap on the shoulder,
I said, I feel like we should go see Bill today. So we went over to Bill's, and I had sold him my first car.
Okay.
It was an old 64 Chevrolet station wagon.
Okay.
I said,
you were going to say Corvette?
No. I said, hey, Bill, what'd you ever do with that old station wagon? He goes, I still got it. It's down behind the barn down there. He said, my nephew took the motor out, and he never put it back in, and we just drug it down behind the barn. So I thought, well, let's go look at it. And it was trashed. It was just, so I sat down in the front seat there, and I thought, I wonder if I left anything in the glove box, because I didn't even clean it or anything when I sold it to him. I just sold it super cheap.
This is wild.
So my dad had left these little maintenance books in there, like where you keep track of your mileage and all that stuff. And one looked like a little black diary. And I was like, what if this was a diary from a guy that had this car in the 60s? And what if it wasn't a station wagon? What if it was a cool car, like a Corvette or something? And what if that guy was a soldier and he was going off to war? And I was like, oh, I could put that in that other song I'm working on about the guy that finds a car for sale in a barn. And that's how Private Malone came into existence.
Yes, man. Your figurative language, your use of imagery in that song, out of this world. And for the technical geeks out there, your repetition and fricative syllables really sends home that song. And I think that's what makes it one of those easy to sing, easy to just kind of put into your words and into your own mouth and your own style. And that's really hard for songwriters to do. I don't know if that's a natural thing, but my other thing that I wanted to ask you was, we get a lot of comments from songwriters that want to be on the show. Yeah. And some of them talk about like lucky breaks that they've had or like chances in the industry. Everybody, if you do it long enough, you get like that. You get a break. You get like something. So is there maybe a lucky break or like a moment in your career that kind of pivoted you into a whole new direction that just sent you up the ladder, man? Was there like a lucky break that happened to you can share with us?
So many things. I wrote a song, just kind of a funny song called Mr. Heartbroke's Neighborhood, which was like a play on Mr. Rogers, you know. Wrote it by myself, and I played it for a publisher in Nashville, and I met with him like 3 times. The third meeting, I thought, I got a deal. This is going to be great. Yeah. And he goes, well, I got to tell you, I can't sign you. I don't have any money to sign you. But that door is open, and I want to see your face in here as often as you can be in here. I want you to write with my people, and I want you to get to know people, and I'm going to introduce you to artists and writers, and that's what started it for me.
That's what started the Thom Shepherd, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, you never know. The guy that hooked me up with that guy was a guy that played after me at this gig, and he was an older guy that just he was good, but you know what I mean, like he's not a guy that was ever going to be like huge and a big.
Yeah, everybody's
you know
got
I mean?
a friend of a friend, yeah.
So like sometimes it's the guy that you think can help you the least. I think that guy can't help me. He's, you know, he's not doesn't have any music business connections or anything, but he did. He knew that one guy, and that's how it got started.
Dude, that is awesome, man. Yeah, and so to stay from to put it in other words, stay paying attention to the little things, the little nuances. You never know when that break's going to come.
Yeah. What is it they say? Luck is when persistence and opportunity meet up.
Yeah,
I think is that it?
Yeah. Hard work and opportunity meet. I always say, I pray as if it's up to God, and I work as if it's up to me.
Yeah,
you know, and that's just kind of how I do. I go through my daily life, man. Look, Lord, it's in your hands, but I'm going to keep working on it. If you want me to have it, I know you'll let me have it.
It's true. I mean, there's that too. I mean, there's many times in my career I've been like, God, just give me a sign. I don't know what I'm doing here. I just need a sign. Point me in a direction. You know,
give me a revelation.
It's true.
Yeah. So,
and that happened with Private Malone too, actually. At the time that it got recorded by David Ball, you know, David Ball was on a small independent label that didn't have much financial backing, and he was 47 years old, and he hadn't had a hit in 7 years. And I would play that song around.
I bet he loves
Nashville.
you now.
He does now. I would play that song around Nashville, and people would go, "Wow, that song's great! It's amazing! Oh my God, who's cutting it?" And I'd say, "David Ball," and everyone was like, "Dude, you can't give it to David Ball. He's like." He's on a little bitty label.
He's on the back nine.
Like, yeah, that is never gonna. You're never gonna have a hit with that. So I was like, there was a songwriter in Nashville named Harlan Howard. Do you know Harlan Howard?
I've heard of Harlan Howard.
He wrote Tiger by the Tail. I mean, he's written tons of things. I went to his company to try to get a writing deal.
Yeah.
And I met with his wife, and he came walking in. I mean, Harlan's legendary. He came walking in, and his wife goes, "If you could play Harlan one song, what would it be?" And I said, "Writing with Private Malone."
Dude.
Because it was new. I had just written it. And he listens to it, and he goes, "Tell you what, man, I want that song for 30 days. I got about 6 people I'm going to play it for, and they're either heads of labels or big artists. What's the story on this song?" I said, "Well, David Ball's recording it tomorrow." And he was like, "Well, you tell him he can't have it, and I'll run with it, but I'm not going to do anything till you let me go." Anyway, so it was a few weeks after that. I was like, I've got Harlan Howard, the man, wanting to run with my song, but David Ball's already recorded it. What do I do? Finally, I was like, "God, give me a sign. Give me a sign." And the next day, a friend of mine texts me at work. I was working at a day job. My friend texts me. I'm at the Opryland Hotel.
It's so hard to imagine you working a day job, man.
Oh, dude, I had to. Everybody does. Yeah. But anyway, my friend goes, "Hey, man, Carl P. Mayfield's playing your song on the Big 98. And I go, how does he even have it? It wasn't even, like, all we had was like a work tape of it.
Yeah, there wasn't social media back then or anything.
No, I mean, it was just, and so I went in the office, turned on the radio, and this guy, Carl P. Mayfield, says, ladies and gentlemen, songwriter Wood Newton was at my house this weekend. He gave me a CD of some of his new songs that he's written, and I played this song in the 6 o'clock hour, and our phones have not stopped ringing since I played it. And so I got on the phone and called him. I go, hey, Carl P., this is Tom. I'm the co-writer on the song because they couldn't reach Wood. He was out of town or something. And I said, I'm the guy that wrote it. They did an interview with me on the air.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, but that was it. I was like, okay, that's the sign. David Ball's the guy that should do this.
Yeah, that's really awesome. And like signs, breaks, those lucky moments. That's so wonderful to hear coming from somebody who's got a lot of skin in the game. My next question was about My Texas.
Yeah.
I love it. So we're going to drop a link to Mr. Thom Shepherd's music in the description below. If you've been living under a rock and you don't know who he is, go check it out. If you do check out the media and you find out that your friends need better taste in music, send them to Texas Music Reviews. We'll hook them up. Yeah. So tell me about My Texas, man. How this thing, I was sitting yesterday, the room you were playing in yesterday with your lady. I played in there the night before, and there was like 50 people in there in the Rebecca Creek hotel room at the Grand, and we were all playing and stuff, and it was already so cool. And I thought yesterday, me and Chuck were walking up, and we were like, let's go check it out. You know, we walk in. I was like, hold on, I know that voice. And we walk in. Me and Chuck look at each other. We knew I had my guitar, and then I had to go sit down. There was an open spot. I was like, I'm gonna go sit over here. I gotta listen to this guy play. And they were asking me, why don't you pull your guitar and play it? I was like, because look who's sitting right there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna do that. You know, even Chuck was like, no, man, I don't wanna, let's listen to this. So how did My Texas come about? I heard you play it last night. Such an incredibly fun song. How did that all come about, man?
That was a quick one, man. I had met Josh Abbott once or twice, and I said, man, I'd love to write with you sometime. I think your stuff's great. So we set up. I was still living in Nashville at the time, and so we had an afternoon appointment, and it was right after Mardi Gras. I had gone to New Orleans with a bunch of friends, with Krager and a bunch of guys, and let's just say I was not feeling like myself when I got to that writing appointment. I was a bit hungover, and I had eaten these brownies that I didn't know were special brownies a couple days before, and they was still hanging with me. Oh, no. So I got in there. I was like, I can't cancel on Josh Abbott. I feel weird, but I can't cancel on him. So we get together, and, I didn't know him very well. You know how it is if you co-write much. Sometimes it's like a blind date with somebody, and you're hoping you come up with something awesome, but you don't really know the person. So I said, so what are you working on, man? Can we write something for your project? And he said, I'm working on this record, and there's a lot of songs about Texas on it.
Was that when he was with the Panhandlers?
No, this is way before.
Okay.
Way before that.
Okay.
This is when, like, his song "Oh Tonight" was out. Yeah. It was right after that, right around that time. And so he said, I want to write a song that'll tie all the other ones together on the album, and I want it to be about Texas, but I don't want to say all the stuff that everybody says, like Alamo, the Rio Grande, the Dallas Cowboys, all the things. Man. He said, this is the way he said it to me. He goes, I want to write a song about the Texas that I know and love. Because if you don't know the Texas that I know and love, you haven't even met Texas.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, that's cool. You ain't met Texas. You ain't met my Texas. You ain't met my Texas yet. I remember just saying it just like that. And he goes, yep, that's it. That's it. And we start talking about stuff. And then we get to that first chorus about, I said, man, one of my first trips to Texas, I'm not from Texas originally, but I started coming down there around 2001. I remember on that trip, hearing Pat Green do Carry On. It was like, that's when Carry On was like...
was booming.
Blowing up. It was everywhere. It was on CMT. It was like... And I was like, God, I love this song. It's so good. So I said, we got to put Carry On in this song. Because it's my, probably one of my most favorite Texas music songs. So
Pat Green, Vince Gill, all those guys that run together, man, they're fantastic.
Yeah. So as soon as we said it, I said, why don't we play Carry On in a Pat Green show or whatever. I go, okay, the next two choruses have to be other artists. We got to do different guy, different song, different whatever, different rodeo. Yeah. And man, it just like wrote itself.
Different sunsets.
Yeah. So man, that was great. And he's like, I'm putting this on the record, man. I'm recording this. And sure enough, it was out like, I was on a radio tour maybe a week later and doing an interview, and this lady goes, oh, hey, I heard that your song you wrote with Josh is going to be his next single. And I go, nah, you're thinking of another song, because he probably would have told me that And she goes, no, it's about, you ain't met my Texas yet? I go, yeah. She goes, yeah, that's his next single.
Dude,
I'm like, wow. Then I call him, I go, dude, hello, forgot something, tell me.
You got something to tell me, man? Yeah. Dude, that is so awesome. Yeah, that's a Texas anthem if there ever was one.
Yeah, thank you.
And in a genre, because with Texas music reviews, we talk about Texas artists or artists from Texas, artists that are touring in Texas, whatever. But there's always seems to be that motif, you know, of wanting to talk about Texas and their version of Texas. Paige Lewis has a whole album called Under the Texas Sky,
right?
Where she does something of that nature, you know, and it's kind of evolved. And now I think about it, looking back and in retrospect, after saying that, Josh Abbott's gone on to do, you know, work with like the Panhandlers, where everybody's doing a different verse and their own take, like West Texas in my eye.
Yeah, I love that song.
And
that's a good one.
And I just think, you know, for all of the Texas artists out there and writing with some of the big ones from Texas, I always ask this question to our artists, and they always say, you know, don't give up. But I don't want that to be your answer. But if you had one piece of advice, you know, for a guy that's grinding hard or a girl that's grinding hard and really, really trying to do that songwriting route, what is that piece of advice that you could give them to kind of just help them out?
Well, when I was in Nashville, the advice I would get from everybody is, man, just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, but that ain't working.
Yeah. Just keep trying, you think?
That's it, but no, but I'd say this. I think the best advice I could give anybody, have balls. Have the balls to ask people to write with you. Have the balls to ask artists if you can pitch your songs to them.
Closed mouths don't get fed.
Don't ever be afraid to ask somebody. All they can do is tell you no, but they might tell you yeah. Seriously. Okay. I can look back on so many times where I missed an opportunity because I'm like, oh, I don't want to bother that guy. Right. You know, I don't want to, you know, I don't.
Well, then shoot, can I write a song with you, dude?
Sure.
Dude, are you serious? Because I would absolutely love to.
Because you never know, man. You never know what you're going to come up with. Yeah. We're all just one hit away, one writing session away from having another hit.
Dude, yeah, you know absolutely. What I mean? And we're in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, surrounded by amazing songwriters. Who's your pick for this year at Steamboat? Who are you most excited to see, or who have you seen so far that's put on just the best performance for you?
I'll tell you a guy I saw last year, we saw him last night, I just love William Beckman. That guy, he's awesome.
We'll drop his music in the description below so you can get a Thom Shepherd recommendation.
He's really good. And, of course, my old buddies, you know, Roger Krager and Kevin Fowler put on a hell of a show last night.
Yeah, Dos Borrachos.
Shane Smith. Oh, my God. Those guys were killer last night. So, and I always love to see my good friend Corb Lund. He's another brilliant songwriter that's here this week.
Absolutely.
Love Corb. He's amazing. Oh, there's just so many. Randall King, my God. If he ain't the future of country music, I'll eat your hat.
No kidding. You know, you can't walk down the sidewalk over here without bumping into a star. You know, it's really, really, really cool. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you're a busy guy. Thom, thank you so much for being on the Texas Music Reviews podcast. I know right now that my buddies, ZAKK United and Drew Mitchell from Texas Music Reviews would want me to give you their best, wish you the best luck. Suck it, guys. I got the interview. You didn't. No, I'm just kidding. I love them. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. Is there anything else you wanted to shout out before we get off the air here?
Yeah, we're doing a big festival of our own in March in Lake Conroe.
Lake Conroe.
Yeah, your stomping grounds.
Yeah, we're gonna be advertising it on K-Star, I believe, as well. So
yeah, it's called Lone Star Luau. It's March 21st through the 24th, and it's a mix of Texas music, trop rock music like beach country, and songwriters. Mm-hmm. And it's a 4-day deal, and we would love for y'all to come. It's gonna be huge. It's our 7th year.
Yeah.
And we got a killer lineup. We did a Jimmy Buffett tribute here at Music Fest. We're gonna do it at our event as well, and we have 2 of the Coral Reefer band, 2 of Jimmy's bandmates are going to be there, Nadira Shakur and Doyle Grisham. So they're going to be part of our event.
That's cool.
And our friend John Patty that plays steel drums that everybody saw here at Steamboat.
That was cool to hear last night, him playing steel drums. Man,
he's going to be there.
That was wicked.
It's going to be amazing. But yeah, we have to get up to the Reckless Kelly tribute.
Yeah, you do that, man. And it's great because of a lot of our viewership's in Conroe. So thank you so much, man. You have a great night.
All right.
From all of us here at Texas Music Reviews, I'm Harley Ray.
Thom Shepherd. Thank you, guys.
And we'll keep an ear out for you.